All right, good morning, guys. This is Dakota back with another live stream. Today is Monday, February 1st, 2021, and today gonna get into the markets, right? It's Monday, so it's the start of a brand new week, and it's time to look at these opportunities. So before we get into anything, we're gonna go ahead and review what happened last week. I know for myself, give me 1 second. Just reading that nothing is coming up on the stream. Okay, perfect. So for myself, the entire month of January was not too good. It wasn't the best month that I've had. It wasn't the worst month, but nevertheless, we just got to keep going, and we got to figure out how to do better the next time. Let me bring up screenshots. All right. So we got to sell on EJ, we got to sell here on GU. And this is one of the primary moves that I was looking for last week that did not play out. And yep, all right. So first pair we're gonna go over is EJ. So EURJPY, I was basically we had this ascending channel 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we had the ascending channel 2 weeks ago. Price broke out of the ascending channel. I was looking for a flag, a bearish pullback to this ascending channel, and a rejection here, and a possible sell at least back down to this low. I set my initial targets just at the most recent low, but price basically formed an impulse here, a bullish pattern here, and pushed up, but I was anticipating something different, and that move actually ended up playing out, and it pushed all the way back up to this monthly level. And I believe I have a screenshot of, yep, screenshot here. So yeah, so that just didn't play out. Got our confirmation, so it wasn't a trade that was going against my rules, but just didn't play out, or wasn't paying attention to the right things. But let's go to EURJPY and see what we can do this time, or what the setup is this time. All right, so let's start off on the 4 hour. My fault. Gotta do the full markup. EURJPY. Okay, cool. Okay, EURJPY. Don't know my strategy. It's really simple. All I do is impulse, correction, continuation, right? Market moves in 3 ways. You got your impulse, which tells you the direction the market wants to go. Then you're gonna get a corrective pattern, which is just the market moving in small candles and generally in the opposite direction of the impulse. Okay, then there's an area that I look for price to bounce off of, and I look for a continuation, basically to continue the initial impulsive move, right? Impulse tells me the direction the market wants to go. Correction confirms that it wants to go in that direction. Continuation is it actually playing out, and the continuation is what I'm working to catch. All right, and that goes both ways, either up or down. Impulse down, correction, continuation down. Pretty simple. I know a lot of you guys know that. Okay, And I use top-down analysis. So basically boxing price on my higher time frames. Three most important time frames to me are the monthly, weekly, and the daily time frame. And just come here, box price in, give it a high and a low. And every single line I draw on my chart is a zone. It's not a, how you say, a line. I mean, it's not a exact point that I'm looking at for price to reverse at or to break. It's a general area that I'm looking for price to at least give me some type of reaction at. Okay, I pretty much have this uptrend here. It's not as tight as I would like it. And also with this downtrend here, the downtrend is off the rails right now. It's not up against, it's not making two touches for me, so I'm not gonna have it there. It's pretty worthless. It's not gonna make the two touches for me. Here, this uptrend, I'm gonna make it a little bit tighter, starting it from here and putting it there. Reset that. Okay, we still have our supply and our demand zone. We see prices right here in this area. This is a selling area for us, and we can lower that a bit right there. This is a selling area for us, and if we look to the left, we can see last time price came here, it sold, price came here, it bought. So it's just an area of, it's a major support resistance area, right? That's pretty much what we're paying attention to with the lines that we're drawing. Okay, so up here, ideally from this time frame, what I'm looking for is price to either break this trend line, give me a correction, and then sell to this area here, or price to break this, give me an impulse, give me a correction, retest this area, and then continue up to the next supply zone that I have, which would be about this area. All right, so we'll put that there in case. All right, so let's go down to the 4 hour. Since there's not really much that I can do here, we got our uptrend drawn. We have price pretty much boxed in. No matter which direction price goes, we know what we're doing with it. So at least off the daily. So let's go to the lower time frame, see if there's something we can capitalize off of. So here off the daily, we have this very strong impulsive move up, and after every impulse, we know we should be looking for a correction. So what we're looking for here is a correction, but in this area, since it is a selling area, I wouldn't so readily, I wouldn't be jumping to enter for a buy here, okay? Because it's a strong sell area. So being a strong sell area, price could come back up, but if it comes back up, I'll be looking for a double top and then looking to sell that off. But like always in these areas, I would always prefer an ascending channel. But for the moment, price is set up for a buy, at least right now. Now, if it is set up for a buy, I'm going to be looking for it to test an area for me before shooting back up. And I'd like it to test this area here. Okay, which is about the 50 Fibonacci level, so that's pretty much perfect. So I'm looking for price to scale down to that level. So on the lower time frame, there's going to be sell opportunities. So let's keep working down and look for sell opportunities. And right here, what type of trend do we have? We have a downtrend. Now, with this downtrend, again, we're targeting this 50 Fibonacci level. So we're looking for it to continue to scale down to that level. And it should be a little bit clearer on the 30-minute time frame. Okay, so here we have the strong impulse waiting on this pullback. I like it to pull back to this area, which would be kind of steep, at least for how our trend line is right now. I just wanted to scale back to this area before entering for a sell. On 5 minutes. Right, and I would look for price to get to this area. Now when price is at this area, I'm going to be watching it. Again, I don't really like the buy in this situation, so what I would prefer to see is actually a break of the trend line and then another pullback before continuing back up to this high, at least this high here. And at that point, I would definitely be willing to take the buy if that were to happen. So I'll go ahead and add an alert here. All right, so there's one move for EJ. Let me go ahead and post this. Or I'll just say watch price here. All right, and posting the screenshot in the Discord channel or server. The link should be in the description. And basically in the server, I'll just post the charts that I do on here. Also, like if you want to message me, you can message me in there. And if you also want to talk on this stream, if you go to the live Q&A, what is this called? It's a live Q&A voice channel. Streaming on there as well. So if you're not able to get on YouTube or actually want to speak and talk about something I'm doing on the charts, or talk about something that you have on your charts, we can do that. That's EURJPY. So next, let's go to GU. And GU was the only other pair that I was paying attention to last week. So let's first talk about this move. GU price. We had a move before this too. This was the last move that we had for the week. Okay. So I missed a few moves last week on GU, but no worries, there's always another opportunity here. Okay, and we'll go ahead and bring this up to, just in case someone wants to talk about this one. So here, GU basically got started off as an ascending channel, and we can see it on this screenshot. Price is in this daily level here, my daily supply zone. I was looking for an ascending channel to form here and to sell. So I got in a bit too early right here. Set my stop loss at 37.51. Price tagged me out, and after that I got off the charts. I said I was looking for an ascending channel here and looking for a drop. Now that did actually come. Again, here was where my stop loss got hit here, at least in this area. Price did form that ascending channel and then actually did fall out. I wasn't there to capitalize off of it, unfortunately. I had to take a step away from the charts and reset, because obviously I wasn't too in sync with the charts for this past month, so I needed to continue backtest and basically realign how I was analyzing. So that was GU, the first opportunity on GU that we're looking for. This next one happened when price came back up to that daily level. Basically got correct movement going up to the daily time frame, and we got a Japanese candlestick reversal pattern up here in this area. Entered off 3 black crows, stop loss just above this high, and then targeting, I believe this was about a 3-to-1, and it was just this level here. So Ideally, you want it to go all the way down to the supply zone or this demand zone, but this gave me pretty much everything I needed or wanted to see in that move. In here, price dropped, came all the way down to TP and shot right back up. So I was asleep while this was going on. Yeah, I was asleep while this was going on, and then woke up to parachuting all the way back up to that daily level. And this was another opportunity that was missed, but wasn't too detailed. Yeah, that was another opportunity that was missed on GU. So let's go ahead and delete that. Let's just delete everything on this chart, and we'll just do a full markup on this one. If you guys do have any suggestions or pairs that you guys want to go over, go ahead, comment in the comment section or the live chat section. Also, you can hop on Discord and we can go ahead and talk about it. Let's minimize that. All right, let's get to it. So prime areas for this right now, or at least the major areas, right there and right here. Okay, it's clearly because price has just been bouncing from this zone. Shot up 2,000 pips, shot down 2,000 pips, shot up. So far about 1,800. I'm looking for price to reach up to this high one more time. So that's the monthly. We do kind of have a downtrend here. Showing a break, so I'm not going to draw it. So we're just going to draw an uptrend on the lower time frame off the weekly. Basically, the question I asked myself: what type of trend do I have on each time frame? And is there a recent area where price has made a major move? All right, so answering that first question, we have this uptrend here. I started it here because it's more recent. If I brought it down lower, it would make it wider. I want my trend lines to be as tight as possible to where price is right now, so I can get basically an early reaction, an early signal to take action basically. So let's go to daily. The daily time frame is their trend. Let's reset that. Up here, price is still moving correctly. I've been looking for this sell coming all the way up. It just hasn't happened yet. The safe thing to do in the situation is just to wait for a break of this trend line, and then to possibly look for a sell if all the confirmations are met. Let's see how price is reacting in this area. Okay, so here off the 4 hour, we'll put one more zone right here. So because price is ranging within that area. All right. So now we have price pretty boxed in pretty well. We see it's just bouncing back and forth right now, and it's at the top here. So it's been bouncing back and forth this entire time. The next move that you would most likely look for is price to possibly sell here. Okay, but with this is basically a flat channel, so it can go either way. Price can shoot up and enter into this zone up here, which then we would look for a retest and let price to come back up to this level. But with it being at the top, ideally I would look for a break of the trend line or a lower time frame and look to sell this. First target being this trend line, second target being this demand zone, and then possibly coming even down further to this, I believe it was a daily uptrend, daily or weekly uptrend. But here, right now, I'm looking for price to go down, so let's go onto a lower time frame and see if we have any confirmation of that. Nothing. nothing there. Let's go down to the 30-minute. And all we have here is just 3 rejections in the same area. Price scaling down here. Let's get on to the 15. It's all very corrective movement. Okay, there is a possible entry here right now. We'd go down to the 3-minute, 5-minute, 3-minute to see if a JCP comes, and then we'd be targeting this low first, and then targeting this low next. Basically that trend line there. And you want to watch this area for a potential break of the trend line here, and for it to continue down to this demand zone. All right. Now it's not really strong movement in this area, so obviously be very careful. But all the confirmations are pretty much there. I actually want to be cut further as well because there's a double bottom. But it's not in a strong area. Alright, so this will be the first move that I'm taking for the week. Can't take that. And the reason I can't take that is because it wasn't giving me at least a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, so I don't take those. This is something I'll be interested in taking. All the confirmations are there, so pretty much I have to take it. All right. So there's GU. I've added my favorite pair to the list this week, and that is GBPNZD. GBPNZD, again, if you guys have been with me since pretty much my first year, I had a Telegram group. I used to do Zooms, I believe like 3 times a week. But I used to only trade GBP pairs. GBPNZD, GBPAUD, and GBPJPY were the main ones that I traded, and I love those pairs. But for this year, I really want to dig into EURJPY in dollar or pound dollar. So those are really the main 2 that are gonna be on my list for the most of the year. Ideally, of course, if it's not really producing anything, I'm gonna cut it. We'll see what happens after this first quarter. All right, but basically what I'm seeing here, I'm boxing price in between this high and this low. See prices made rejections within these areas, and price is pretty much on a downtrend. It's going to be clearer on the weekly time frame, and it's testing this trend line right now, so we're going to see how it reacts to this level. Ideally, we're going to be looking for sell opportunities on the lower time frames, and for price to potentially come back down to this level. Right, if price breaks that trend line, we'll look for it to come up to the top here, and we'll look for a sell in that area. But again, let me say that one more time. If price breaks this trend line, we'll look for a buy up to this area, okay, and then up to this selling area. But let's go down to our weekly time frame. Weekly weekly time frame. Let's readjust everything so it's cleaner. All right, so we got our impulse down. We got this correction coming up, so we can draw this uptrend here. All right, we can technically box it in right here. I like that. And looks like on a lower time frame we could have an ascending channel here. And once we get down to the 4-hour time frame, we may be putting in a supply zone right there. But let's keep on working down. Let's go to our daily. Or reset that on the daily time frame. We have it above, we do not have it below. We have another possible uptrend right here. It's not, hasn't made a major rejection just yet. So honestly, I don't really want to draw that right now. Yeah, we're not going to draw that uptrend right now. We're going to go down to the 4-hour time frame, and if it needs us to draw it, we'll draw it. Let's reset that. And yeah, we're going to need this area, and let's make sure it's a good area. Basically finding a new supply zone to box price in a little bit better, so that we know the area that we need to be at. We know the area that we need to be paying attention to, so that we can have an opportunity there. All right. Okay, so right now, really don't like that uptrend. But for some reason, I need to draw it. Okay, so right now we have this uptrend. We got 2 touches. Price is moving up. Price has made 2 equals highs here and rejected both times. So looking for price to scale down further. Right now in this situation, the ideal thing to wait for is for price to break this trend line, give us a possible correction, and then continue down. Let's work our way down to the 1-hour time frame. See if there's any more structure here. I'm gonna just move this right above there. Have a strong impulsive move here. Price gapped up over the, basically on Sunday. Don't really like the movement here. Technically, there's a strong impulse here. Small little correction here. Price is coming here and struggling to break this high. So we could possibly see at least a little bit of a dip here and price test this area. Yeah, ideally for this situation, I'm waiting for a break of this trend line. And if the break of the trend line comes, waiting for a correction and looking to sell down to there, and that is about a 250 pip move. If you work your way down on lower time frames and go ahead, take an opportunity here, you have a possible 80 pips there or 60 pip room if it shoots up, but I'm not really seeing a buy opportunity here because like this high hasn't been broken, so not really interested in the buy at the moment. Yeah, I would wait for a break that trend line. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out dollar yen. Since that was the last another pair that we went over. Let's go to Discord and bring up the screenshot. Now, if you do want to check out last week's review on all these pairs, you can go ahead and go back to the previous live stream. Basically have it broken up into segments, so it's really easy to navigate through them. Okay, so on dollar yen, we basically had a selling opportunity that we got a few weeks ago, played out, and it came down to an area where we're looking to buy at. I was looking for price to break up to here, to this level, or to this trend line. Price came back and tested this trend line and then gave us an engulfing candle, double bottom engulfing candle, which was a signal to buy. So obviously this wasn't on my personal list, so I wasn't trading this, but next thing I wanted to see was a break of this trend line and prices continue up to this level. I went ahead and drew this break of this trend line in a correction, just in case, you know, price broke the uptrend and decided to give us confirmation to the downside, right? In every situation, you got to be prepared on both sides, so you know how to react if in any given situation, because nothing's guaranteed. So let's go to here, let's go up so the trend line resets itself. All right, let's try going back to 30-minute. All right, so here, reset the chart. Price played out, it broke our level and reached our target and actually went above. Price is still in a very strong uptrend, so we're gonna continue to look for buys until price tells us otherwise. So let's go ahead and delete everything and start all over.